So I remember as a martial artist, I'd gone a few years without losing a fight. Maybe I was just fighting people who easy to beat. I don't know. But I'd won nationals, and I had this experience then where in the school that I worked out in, the owner of the studio allowed Wednesday nights to be open sparring for like anyone in the town that wanted to come in. It was kind of a bold thing. So it didn't matter what style they were. And this goes back. I mean, this is like 92, I think, 92, 93 maybe. And so this was like kind of a before MMA had really taken place or anything. I mean, they were just coming on the scene. So it was more or less traditional martial arts coming in with traditional martial arts. And this guy comes in, and I was young and at the peak of my, like, you know, non-flattering pride and arrogance as a fighter. So I had basically, you know, marked my territory in each corner of the dojo, and this was my place. And these guys come in. I had not ever seen them before. One of them just looked like Mr. Martial Arts, Mr. 90s Martial Arts. He had the long hair with the earring and all that. And the other guy, I think probably looked a little bit more like me at the time, but he was bigger. He was about 2 inches taller and way stronger than me. Oh, wow. But it didn't matter. I fought guys like that all the time. So he comes in, and when you warm up, you were a black belt. You are a black belt.
Yeah.
Okay, you're always a black belt when you're a black belt.
Right.
It's whether or not you're still in shape for it or not. That's the challenge as I'm getting older here. But
Same.
the way you start off is you say, okay, well, let's just warm up. What are we going to go, like 50%, 40%, and you get your blood flowing. And you usually lie. You act like this is your 50%, but you're given like 90% because you don't want to seem like whatever. So we start off, and we tap gloves, and we just kind of back up, and I'm just kind of dancing away, you know? And I'm kicking distance from this guy. And all of a sudden he punches me. And I almost was like wondering if it actually happened. And so I kind of just shake it off and, you know, kind of dance around a little bit. And we're kicking distance again. And he punches me in the face again. And I was like, okay, this is real now. Okay, we're going here. And he just punched me at will from like a mile away. And I drop my gloves and I look at him and I go, hey man, you got to show me what I'm doing. And his answer is the best. He goes, I'm just punching you in the face, man. Like it was no big deal. Well, I found out that he actually won Diamond Nationals at the black belt level just like the week before that. This guy was unbelievably good and fast. So he wails on me. So I'm going to take revenge on him by beating his friend after this. Because, you know, that's how you think at the time.
Yeah.
So this guy comes in now. Again, because this is before MMA was really there, it was much more formal where you would be more or less saying, are we punching to the head? Are we not punching to the head? Are we doing sweeps, takedowns, whatever? And you would kind of let the person know what you're entering into, especially if they were from a different style. I'm not going to do that. This is not flattering to me, okay? It's just where I was at the time. So I'm going to do a takedown. And then if he's like, hey man, you didn't tell me we were doing takedowns, I'd be like, oh, I thought you'd have known. You know, like this is not, I'm not proud of this. So he comes in, he's got his foot way up in the air, he's going for a kick. I just drop down, I do this heel to heel takedown just perfectly. I mean, perfectly. And the way this goes is that when your heel hits his heel, you knock him down, your momentum carries him, and you can just like land right on top of him, and you punch him in the face, point, and you walk away. Somewhere between me complimenting myself for how perfectly this takedown is ensuing, my heels connect, and I've done it a million times. I just have to follow through. I was perfect. I don't know what happened between then and there, but the next thing I know is he's literally stepping on my head. And he just I had headgear on. So he squeezes it down a little bit with his foot and just walks away. I just got my ass kicked that day. And I learned something big time. It doesn't matter how good you think you are, there's someone better. There is not just someone better, there is somebody fantastically better. And staying humble is a huge thing. And also kind of like my redirected revenge was totally misguided too. And in other words, my lesson of pride was it needed a second dose of ass kicking in order for me to actually even enter into it. Yeah. And then I remember a few years later going up to golf at Kohler, and the PJ was already set up there to go through for a tournament. And the guys that I was golfing with were very good golfers. They were like scratch golfers. I've never been a great golfer. And I remember looking at how when you golf from the pro tees, the blue tees, you're like, oh, hey, this is where the blue tees are. And not the tournament. They would set those tees so much further back than what the weekend pro golfer did that some of my guys that I was golfing with who were incredible golfers, like, I don't know if I can get to the fairway from here. And they never talk like that. And you see the difference between pro and amateur. Because when I won my tournaments, I was amateur. I wasn't a pro fighter.
Yeah.
This guy could have easily gone pro. And there is such a huge difference. It's funny, my financial advisor works with pro athletes all the time. And his brother was a pro athlete. He played professional baseball, I think 13 years. Adam Heisdu. So he played in the show and he played in the minor leagues back and forth. And Adam was around somebody one time who was talking about a pro baseball player or a pro athlete, and they go, they're not that good. And Adam stops him and goes, wait a second. When somebody pays you to play the sport, you're unbelievably good. You can sit there and take pot shots at pro athletes that you think aren't that good, but for what they did to become a pro athlete so they can be on a TV where somebody sitting around on their couch can actually talk about how bad they are at something is unbelievable. They would sit around beating Bob from accounting like you wouldn't believe, yet Bob from accounting is sitting there somehow criticizing this guy.
Yeah.
And there's always someone better. That's a very good thing. In business, it's a very good thing. In leadership, it's a very good thing because it keeps you on your toes. And it tells you within your organization, you probably have people who can lead at a higher level, so promote them. And it tells you to always respect your competition because you don't know what they're going to throw at you.